joined here by heavyweight boxer Joseph Parker. Before we get on to your fight, Joseph, some news in the heavyweight division. Tyson Fury, who you know very well, you train with him at the moment. Eddie Hearn, Frank Warren have both been talking what's next in the heavyweight division with regards to those world titles. What is Tyson's kind of plan at the moment? Is he looking at a unification fight with Usyk, or could it be Dillian White?
I'm not quite sure what his plans are. I mean, things in boxing, change all the time. You make plans and all of a sudden this happens and it changes quite frequently. So I'm not quite sure what his plans are. At the moment, he's just spending a lot of time with his family, helping out in camp where he can, assisting Andy and just being part of the camp. And I think at the moment he's on tour. He's doing his speaking tour. So he's not here at the moment, but I don't know. I'm not sure what his plans are, but whatever it is, he's going to be, obviously training hard, preparing well, and always puts on a good show.
Definitely. And in terms of the heavyweight division, what do you think we'll see next year? Obviously, there's a lot of talk before Anthony Joshua fought Usyk and AJ fought and Fury fought Wilder for the third time. There was talk of having that unification match between Fury and AJ. Do you think we will see those world titles unified at some stage, perhaps next year or the year after?
Yeah, I think, everyone wants to see a unification with all the belts, and see who the best is. And I just think there's a lot of moving parts, a lot of people a lot of negotiations that have to happen behind the scenes, the fighters, management teams, promotional teams, networks. So if everyone can come together and, agree, I think we can see it sometime soon. Hopefully.
No, definitely. And in terms of yourself, you had the fight with Derek Chisora earlier in the year in Manchester. What did you make of that first fight? How did you think you performed? You got the win by the judges on split decision. Do you think that was the right call?
I think it was the right call. After watching the fight back, I know I did enough to win. It wasn't like the most dominant performance, and it wasn't the best performance, but I did enough to win. Close fight. That's why we're going to run it back, and this is the perfect opportunity for myself to, see or to show the improvements that I've made as a fighter and as a boxer. And I'm very excited because it's my first rematch in my career, and I want to go out there and fight hard. I just want to go out there and fight, beat them up, and put on a better performance. It's pretty simple, really. Just go out there and do the job in better fashion.
Definitely. And of course, ahead of that first fight, you had just joined Andy Lee. You hadn't been over here that much at that time in terms of training with Andy. So what can we see differently going into this fight from yourself compared to the first fight?
I think the first fight it wasn't the longest camp together. So we were just getting to know each other, getting ready for the fight, and then, obviously having the fight, getting the win. I think the longer camp this time around will be better, a lot more beneficial, as I'm understanding a lot more what Andy's trying to teach me. I've been working very hard every week, every day of every week, putting in some great work with the team I have here. And Andy Lee, there's David Naika, who's training with us from New Zealand. There's Isaac Lowe, who's fighting tonight. We've got Tyson around. We've got Tommy Fury. So Andy Lee is looking at Jordan Thompson. There's a lot of us here working very hard, and I think just the longer camp is going to be way better for me.
Yeah, definitely. And in terms of you used to train over in Las Vegas, being over here now and training with Andy, what has Andy added to your game that you didn't perhaps have before?
I think I had a lot in my game when I was training in Vegas under Kevin, but just it's always nice to get like a different view on things or a different approach, and I don't know, maybe try something else, and I feel as a fighter, I'm a lot more excited. I feel like I have a lot more to give, and I just needed a bit of like a refreshing start, and that's what I've been getting with Andy, and not only teaming up with Andy, but just the experience he has. Obviously, he's been in the ring himself. He's been world champion. He's got a lot of things that he can teach me that he's done as a fighter. So I'm excited from what I've been seeing and what I've been feeling in the gym, and just putting on display.
No, definitely. And then your opponent in a couple of weeks, Derek Chisora, he's changed trainer since the first fight as well. He was with David Hay then. He's now back with Dave Caldwell. What differences do you think we could see from Derek Chisora going into this one?
You know, it's great that he's changed trainers and changed management team and getting himself in the best, I don't know, best possible shape he can be in. And I think that's going to be important because I want the best Chisora out there. I know I got a very hard and a very sort of pressure fighter Chisora in the first fight, and I feel like this fight is going to make little adjustments and little improvements that can make a big difference. So I'm excited to see what he's going to bring.
No, definitely. And in terms of, we mentioned last fight, it went the distance. Do you think this fight will go the distance, or do you think you'll be looking to get him out there early this time round?
And as long as I do what I know I can do, then it's not going to go the distance. And he feels the same way. But like I'm feeling good. I'm feeling great. There's no short camp. There's no issues. There's no problems. There's nothing. Like everything's on track. So I feel like I'm going to put on a good performance. And again, just going to go out there and I just want to fight. I just want to go out there and fight him.
And we mentioned like the world at the moment, it's uncertain what's going on with the pandemic. But during that first lockdown, you became a bit of a sensation outside of boxing with some of the videos you were doing, keeping people entertained. What was that like doing that? And could we expect part two if we go into another lockdown at some point?
I need my videographer with me. He's in New Zealand at the moment. So part two, there can be a part two. We just gotta fly him up here, and because I'm gonna be based here for a while, I think, not being able to get back to New Zealand. So, you know, the lockdown was a lot hard for a lot of people, you know, to accept and to stay home, and you know, so we just wanted to give a bit of positivity around and let people know that it's okay, you know, to have fun at home and to just encouraging them to have a laugh and have a smile and try to make the most of the days that they have. You know, lockdown was very hard, but you know, we just wanted to be there for everyone.
No, definitely. And just one final thing before I let you go, Joseph. Obviously, you are a former world champion yourself, and hopefully you get the win against Derek Chisora. What would you be expecting to do next year? Would you look to be getting into that world title mix again?
Oh yeah, I just want to be involved. I know that the belts are held up at the top, but I just want to be involved in the biggest fights I can be involved in and fight the best fighters out there. The only way to get to the top and fight for the belts is to fight the best. I know there's a few people ranked above me in the ranking body, so I'll fight any of them. But firstly, get your sword out of the way in good fashion.